What's up, traders? Welcome back to Canada. Today I want to do with you a weekly review. I want to go back through all the trades I took last week, and I want to show you kind of like what I prepare, how I prepare for the next week in trading. We'll go through the charts, and we'll kind of have a different concept as usual. So I'll go through all the alerts I got, setup I take, setup I didn't take, why I didn't take them, how that works, so you can get a better understanding yourself of how I trade and the rules I follow. So without further ado, let's jump right into the charts. Alright, so here I am right on Telegram where I get these alerts for my strategy. So we'll go from 30th of December right here all the way to these last alerts. There was not many alerts this past week, only a few, but keep in mind that these are based on the zones that I follow. And if you want to get these same alerts, I'll put a link below. You can get these exact same thing on your charts. It's called the Trading Assistant. It's a service we offer. You can configure this for your charts, your pairs, whatever time frame you want, and you get the same alerts for the Bollinger Band setup. So I'll go with these first one. We'll go through all of these first. You'll notice here that there's two trades on JP and ZD, one on September 30th and one on October 1st. Okay, I think that was it. These are different. So that's the first pair I want to look at. I want to go through that pair, and I want to show you guys how this works. So JP and ZD, like we said last week, I did a review on this, and I mentioned to you that this pair was hitting a major resistance area at 1.97. So a place where we bounced many times in the past, we came back down, and now we want to look to short this pair at this level. Okay, so price was there last week. Pretty much in the past week, it went up, did this nice kind of move to the downside, a cool pullback, which you could use to trade back at the zone, and then you look for more bearish setup, okay, on that pair. So now we look on the lower time frame. We had no setup on the 4-hour chart, only on the 1-hour chart. And what we'll see is that we had a setup over here. This was on October 1st. Okay, so and we have these alerts right now in real time because we're on Friday now. I'm just gonna push this away. So we had this setup here on the 1-hour chart. So big engulfing candle. That's the second setup we had. Okay, on October 1st. Big engulfing candle, break of Bollinger Band by 2 candlestick. So what we do is we look to enter below the low, stop loss above the high, and reward to risk of 1-to-1 and 3-to-1. So I'm gonna guess, like just with these rules over here, I'm gonna guess the entries. So this will be the first take profit, and the second take profit will be around, I believe, here. Okay, I'm really kind of going approximately here. You could calculate this by yourself if you want on your chart, but that will be kind of like what a trade looks like. So this one was reach, a full take profit, okay, 3-to-1. So you get on average 2-to-1 on this trade. I'm just gonna write this here, 2-to-1, because you have a 1-to-1 of take profit, half the trade is taken off, and then at 3-to-1 over here. Okay, notice that if you were to move your stop loss to break even once you get to your first take profit, in that case, then you will be kind of stopped to break even. Okay, but I don't do this, so if you want to do it, that's fine. But you will be getting less profit in this trade, okay? And that's not something new, that's something we shared earlier in the past week, so you could still get this trade and get the same alert if you want, okay? So no excuse here. Now, the second alert we had was on the 30th of September, so it was over here, okay? And this was a good trade, but a losing trade, okay? So we need to say this right. A bad trade is a bad trade, meaning you should take it. But this was a good trade in the sense that it's a proper trade. You should take it, but it's a losing trade. So you don't get money on this trade, which is totally fine. It happens. So same principle here. You enter below the low. After this engulfing candle that breaks the Bollinger Band, enter below the low. Stop loss above the high. And then reward to risk of 1-to-1. So first take profit at 1-to-1. The other one at 3-to-1. Okay. So obviously this one here, you got stepped out on the first candlestick right after, which kind of is not cool, but it happens. Okay, you gotta deal with that. So that's the other trade, but keep in mind you lose here -1, okay, of reward, and then you get 2 on the other ones. That's still a profitable pair for this week. Okay, so we're pretty good with that. Now I'm gonna go with the other alerts we had. I'm just gonna change over here on this screen. This is through, by the way, Telegram. We kind of partner with them to be able to get alerts for these trades. And then we'll go for these two we've covered. This one we've covered. So EuroCAD is the other setup we had on October 1st. So as you'll see on the 1-hour chart, what we had for this trade. To give you guys a little bit of context on this, we were hitting here a resistance area. So this is a kind of range we've done in the past. We're coming back to hit the range. Good place to look for bearish trades on this pair once again. Okay. So I'm going to go on the 1 hour chart. And on the 1 hour chart, we'll try to find this setup together. Okay, so we'll go back a little bit in time. And here we see this setup right here. Okay. So like always, we look for a break of the Bollinger Band by 2 candlesticks. We look for a engulfing candle like we have over here, and then we look for a break of the downside right here, so that we would look to enter here, okay, below. Now this is not triggered. We would put a stop loss here. Technically, we would put a take profit at 1-to-1 and 3-to-1, okay, somewhere below. But here it's not triggered because we didn't go below the candlestick. So that's a bad trade. That's like a losing trade that we avoid. This will be a bad trade if you take that because we're not going below the low. And that wouldn't be a good trade, okay, overall. So there's a reason why we enter below the low is because trades that tend to not work out well are the ones that don't break below the low, okay, or be on the high if you're looking for a bullish setup. So that would have been a good trade to avoid, of course, this week. Okay, so that's a trade that we won't go far on this. It's pretty simple, and we avoided it, which is perfect. Okay, so nothing to complain about in this trade. Let's see what the other setup. The other setup we had was on GBP/CHF and Euro AUD. So just look at these quickly. I'll go on Euro AUD first, and let's see what happens. This was on the 60-minute chart. So this pair is approaching, as I seem to see, a bearish area, so a resistance area here. We had a setup here on a daily chart, which I don't take, but you could take it if you want. These tend to have a pretty low win rate. But we'll go see on a 1 hour chart what we had on this pair. So this seems to be a setup that also wasn't taken, okay, because we basically entered below the low, and we want to have some room. So this, I'm just going to calculate here quickly for you guys the distance between, actually the price range between this low here and this low, okay, 1.1 pip. So usually what we do is we enter the trade, let's say 3 pip below the low of the candlesticks. So this would not be taken, okay, that particular trade over here. But basically, as always, we look for the context. As I said, the context is we hit a resistance area at 1.63. Now you see this break of the Bollinger Band, and then an engulfing candle. You enter below the low. Stop loss beyond the high, this high, of course. You would have been stopped out if you entered this trade, of course. And then we were to risk of 1-to-1, approximately here, and then 3-to-1, okay, somewhere here. And so, again, a bad trade because you would have entered not beyond the low. That would have been bad. And then you get stopped out after. Okay, so we want to avoid the losing trade, of course, that's the goal. And here we avoided a pretty bad losing trade overall. Okay, so that's the trade that you don't take. And now moving on to the last pair, GBP/CHF. We'll have a look at the bigger time frame first, as always, see what's there. And let's see. So we hit here on GBP/CHF. Let's just give a bit of context. So we had this range over here. We broke down below. Okay, went all the way here to 1.68, and then we pushed back up. Okay, all the way to here, the past level, which we broke beyond. And this level here, we didn't really test it much, but we have this high over here, which will turn into a support. So I said this next level here is probably going to be a place where you want to look for bullish trades, okay, because we broke, we came back to retest, and you want to look for bullish trades there. Okay. Now I understand when I look at this right here with you guys that this is not very high reliability. It's okay, but not kind of the best particular setup because we didn't really kind of touch this past high, and we also kind of retest this one, but not in a place where it's not as if we're kind of going sideways like this and then breaking, okay, because now we have this kind of place that's been tested many times, and then we will kind of come to retest. Not the same thing, because here we had no sideways market before that, okay, we're not at the right place. So I understand this would be low reliability, but let's still go on the chart and see what happens there. Okay, so the trade has been taken on the 1 hour chart, I believe. 1 hour chart, yes. Let's just go on the 1 hour chart right now. Okay, so we look for bear setup, of course. I believe this setup was over here. This was October 1st. So I believe, let me just see. This one was October 1st. Okay, so on this trade, on this particular trade, we'll enter here. So see, we'll break the Bollinger Band. We have this engulfing candle. We'll enter below the low, right over here. Okay, a couple of feet below, very near to the middle band, which usually if it goes beyond the middle band, I would not take. But in that case, we'll still take it. Still not beyond the middle band. Okay, stop loss above the high, and then reward to risk of 1 to 1 and 3 to 1. So somewhere kind of like far over here, which doesn't really matter. So we enter here. The trade was fast in the direction, so we get the first take profit here. We take off half, and then price just came back to the entry over here. Okay, so we got stepped out, and yeah, we got stepped out here on this particular trade. So if you are the kind of person that's going to take partial take profit and then move your stop loss after to break even, then you will get stepped out at break even. Okay, so you get like basically 0.5 R on this trade. If you're the kind of person like me who leaves the stop loss to the original place, then you get out here with a loss of 0, so like a break even trade overall. Okay, so it depends on what you prefer. But this trade was basically stepped out at break even, we could say. Okay, so you win here 0.5 R and you lose 0.5 on this particular entry. So not the best trade, of course, because you end up wasting your time for no money. But as I said, it's not the best place to take a trade, but you still end up going to break even, which is not bad. So you don't lose anything, you don't win anything, you're just fine. So that's the other trade. So overall for this past week, if we kind of summarize the whole thing, we get basically 1 hour of profit. Okay, because we have the trade that I showed you before first on JP and ZD. This past trade, we have one that wins 2, one that loses 1. Then the other one we don't take them, and this one we get to break even. The last one on JPCHF. Okay, so that's the principle. So I want to kind of go quickly now through the zones for next week. I want to show you guys. So some pairs are kind of doing nothing for now. I'll go on daily chart, show you guys. Every CAD is going back here to 0.90. So we're gonna have to wait for this pair to hit a level before we trade it. Could be soon, we'll see. AUD/JPY is between 2 zones. We're gonna have to wait on this pair. So we want to look for a trade at this zone here, 0.74 or 75, and this zone here, so around 71. Okay, to look for trades. And AUD/NZD is perfectly at the right zone, so 1.07. I want to look for bullish trades there. So we basically broke out of a range we had for some time, and now we're coming back to retest the range. Okay, so pretty cool place to look for bullish trades. AUD/USD is also at a support. Not very strong because we kind of bounced, we came back at the same place. I would have preferred to see a retest of this level here, but we broke down. So I'm not going to trade this. This is a mark yellow to be careful, because we kind of have something interesting to trade with. But for now, we kind of have a push, come back, but a comeback that's too strong. So we might have to wait for a breakdown and then a retest of the zone. Okay, that's going to be my thought and the thing I look for the most. Right? Next pair is CAD CHF between 2 zones. We're going to have to wait to trade this pair. Euro AUD is at a resistance area here. Although now we broke down of this, I've showed you guys a trade on this in the past that we didn't take, but still. And now we want to have to wait for a retest of the zone and a move to the downside. Okay, that would be the ideal case. Or you could just kind of, if you had a trade here, you could just sell here. But the ideal case is you wait for a retest of the zone as always. EuroCAD is between 2 zones now. We're gonna have to wait on this pair to trade it. Euro JP is between 2 zones. So we have this zone here at 0.95 basically. And we're gonna have to wait for price to do something. Okay. Euro USD is coming back here to retest the zone as we thought at 1.0506. We're gonna have to wait, it's not there yet. But once it gets there, then we could look to trade the pair to the downside. Okay. JP CAD It's between two zones, but coming close to this zone here at 1.66, where you want to look for bearish trades. So we've been there in the past. Now we are coming back to retest the zone, and that could be a good place to look for bearish trades, in my opinion. Okay. JPCHF is at the same zone as we explained earlier, so we still look for bullish trades to the upside. Not very reliable, as I said, but you can still look for bullish trades, and that's what I'm going to be looking for in this upcoming week. GPY is coming back here to retest. This is pretty cool. So what to do support 127, came back up, came back down, did like a double bottom, came back up, now coming back to retest. I want to see price retesting this past range, and that's where I'll be looking for bullish trades in this pair. Get to the upside, of course. So pretty cool setup over here on the market context, the overall picture, of course. JPNZD is breaking down from the zone here at 1.97, so you can still look for retests or trade the trend to the downside if you want. I'm going to be stepping away from this pair a little bit and focus on other pairs, because it's kind of, I took a trade on this earlier, had some profit. Now I'm just stepping away and waiting for the next zone or see what happens on this pair. Okay, JPUSD is between two zones, although coming back to 1.25, a nice resistance area here to trade with, but we'll see what happens with this pair. And NZD CAD broke the downside of this range. Now we're coming back to retest the zone, which is pretty cool. So we have something like this, downside, retest, and then we'll look for bearish trades on this pair. Okay, even though we're quite far, we'll see we have something that's bearish, but that could be a good zone to look for bearish trades, in my opinion. USD CAD is coming close to 1.34. That's the zone we want to use to look for bearish trades. So far we have nothing, we're not there yet. But it could be a good place to look for these for another setup. Other than that, we have no zones on this. It's kind of too messy. So we'll have to wait a little bit, step aside and wait. And USD/GPY is between two zones, although it's kind of retesting this over here. Could be a good place to look for a bullish trade, but this is less strong than usual. Okay, so price came down to retest the range. Could look for a trade to the upside. Right now we are kind of near this. I don't think I need to set up on this. I'm not trading this like actively. I prefer to trade like bigger zones than these ranges, but still it's could be a good place to look for a trade. And on USD SJD, we're still looking for a bullish trade at 1.38. We have nothing so far, but this is kind of not really reliable, a little bit reliable. We broke above, came back to retest, broke, back up, came back to retest again. So we'll see if we have a move to the upside, like we thought. But so far, that doesn't seem it's going to happen, so we'll see. Okay. And gold is, you want to look for this level here as a short-term level, coming back to retest the previous range. So we had this sideways market. Okay. We broke above, that's the market phase. Sideways market again. Now we came down a little bit. Okay, false breakout, came back up. So we either going to test this range, look for this level here at 1530, pretty much, where we bounced, I believe, in the past. If you just zoom out quite a lot. So yeah, we bounced there in the past. Pretty long level, that's like 2012, but still. And yeah, that's the level to look for bearish trades. Or we can look for a move down and retesting this range over here. Yeah, that could be good also. So depending on what happens on the pair, you want to trade this properly. But for now, we have to wait a little bit to see what happens. Okay. So guys, hope that makes sense. I want to do kind of a quick video like this just to show you the market, and it also helps me at the same time to prepare and to get ready for the week. Comment below with your thought. As always, I want to hear your question, your comment. Here, as always, are a few comments from the past video. I appreciate you guys for leaving comments, as always, and I'll catch you back here pretty soon. Ciao.